Imagine you're a predator. You've cornered something barely the size of your fingernail. It can't overpower you. It can't outrun you. It looks almost harmless. So you attack. And then, a jet of hot chemicals suddenly blasts from the insect's rear end. Not a cloud, not a warning, a directed chemical weapon. And the strangest part? The explosion happened inside the beetle's own body. So how does a tiny insect do this without blowing itself apart? This is the Bombardier Beetle, and when threatened, it can unleash one of the strangest defense mechanisms in nature. The beetle ejects a hot, irritating chemical spray from the tip of its abdomen. In some studied species, the discharge can approach the temperature of boiling water, and it doesn't simply spray continuously. It fires in rapid pulses. Here's the first surprise. The beetle isn't carrying a tiny tank of boiling liquid. It makes the weaponized spray inside itself. And to understand how, we have to go inside the beetle. Inside its abdomen are specialized defensive glands, and these glands store chemical ingredients separately. One system contains hydrogen peroxide, another contains hydroquinone-related compounds. Keeping them apart is critical, because when these chemicals are brought together under the right conditions, a powerful reaction begins. But the beetle doesn't just open both containers and hope for the best. It has something much more sophisticated, a valve, and beyond that valve, a specialized reaction chamber. Think of it as a microscopic biological pressure vessel. The beetle stores the ingredients safely until it needs to fire. Now imagine shrinking down and entering the beetle's abdomen. Here is the storage reservoir, here is the valve, and here is the reaction chamber. When the beetle detects danger, muscles around the reservoir contract. The stored chemicals are pushed toward the valve opens, and the chemicals enter the reaction chamber. This is where the system changes completely. Enzymes inside the chamber help drive a rapid chemical reaction. Hydrogen peroxide breaks down, oxygen is released. The hydroquinone compounds are oxidized into quinones, and the reaction releases heat, a lot of it. At the same time, gases and expanding reaction products create pressure. And now the beetle has a problem. All that pressure needs somewhere to go. There is only one exit. The reaction chamber releases the pressure through a tiny opening at the end of the abdomen. The hot chemical mixture shoots outward, but it doesn't stop there. The chamber can reload and fire again, again, again. This is one of the most remarkable parts of the system. Researchers have actually observed these explosions happening inside living bombardier beetles, and what they found was even stranger than expected. The beetle isn't simply opening a valve and spraying a continuous stream. The reaction itself helps produce the pulsed discharge. Pressure builds, the chamber fires, pressure falls, the system resets, then the cycle begins again. It's almost like a tiny biological engine, except its exhaust is a hot chemical blast. But now we reach the obvious question. If the reaction can become hot enough to approach 100 degrees Celsius, why doesn't the beetle cook itself? Because the beetle doesn't allow the reaction to happen everywhere. The chemistry is confined to a specialized reaction chamber. The reactive ingredients are stored separately beforehand. A one-way valve controls when they meet, and the chamber is built to contain the reaction and direct the resulting pressure outward. The beetle has essentially solved a problem that looks impossible. Create an extremely violent chemical reaction inside your own body while keeping the damage localized. It's not just chemistry, it's chemistry plus anatomy plus pressure control. And there's another detail that makes this system even stranger. The beetle can aim. The nozzle isn't simply pointing backward. The beetle can direct its defensive discharge toward different locations around its body. If a predator approaches from one side, the beetle can rotate its abdomen. If the threat comes from another direction, it can redirect the spray. Researchers have even observed beetles directing the discharge toward different parts of their own bodies. So this isn't simply a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reaction attached to a targeting system. But why would evolution produce something this complicated? Because the beetle doesn't need to win a fight. It only needs to make attacking it a terrible decision. A predator sees a tiny insect. It expects an easy meal. Instead, it gets hit with heat, irritating chemicals, pressure, and a sudden explosive sound. The beetle doesn't have to be stronger. It doesn't have to be faster. It just needs one defense powerful enough to change the predator's mind.